Then in the fall of 2021, there started up a financial investigation into Alex financial dealings. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you said that overlapped and fed off each other with what your murder investigation was doing?
Yes, it involved Alec.
Right.
So we were looking at the totality of the circumstances and seeing if there was any paths that crossed or.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, I'll skip one part. In your interview, as of August 11th, you told us that you had excluded everyone from the circle who had come in to the circle except for Alec, and he was your one and only suspect at that point in time.
Yes.
And you talked about interviewing C.B. Rowe and him telling you where he was on June 7th, right?
Yes.
But he later, you found out, he lied to you about where he was on June 7th, right?
Yeah, he came forward and was honest with us without us even approaching him.
All right. But he was initially told you one thing about where he was, subsequently told you I was not honest about where I was.
Yes, he didn't want Mr. Murdaugh to know that he was looking for another job in fear of being fired.
Okay. But part of this financial investigation that overlapped, you developed information that Alec was stealing money from a law firm, client money, to support a drug addiction, did you not?
That's what was purported, that it was for a drug addiction, yes.
And you learned through your investigation that Alec was paying up to $50,000 a week to a guy named Curtis Eddie Smith for drugs, right?
That's what was told to us, yes.
And you learned through this investigation, what was told to you, that Eddie was buying these drugs from other folks, members of Sandhill Drug Gang, right?
Yes.
And the Sandhill Drug Gang was a precursor to the Cowboys drug ring, right?
I'm not familiar with the Cowboys, but that's what I've been told, yes. And
you learned that Eddie owed these drug gang members a lot of money for drugs that were sold to Alec, didn't you?
I believe the information came into that they weren't worried about what was owed because they knew they were going to get paid.
That came to you after the Maggie and Paul were murdered, right?
That came to us after September-ish incident as well.
And did you ever conduct a cell phone analysis of these drug gang members to see where they were on the night of June the 7th?
I didn't have their phone numbers. In my experience, that they don't keep the same phone numbers. They use what's called burner phones. What we also did an analysis around Moselle, trying to encompass anybody else coming in, and that information did not pan out. There was only 2 people identified, and they were emergency first responders.
And you're talking about the geofencing stuff?
Yes, sir.
Well, did you ever obtain any DNA samples from these drug gang members to see if they matched Maggie's fingernail?
No, sir.
And you really never put them in the circle, did you?
The investigation into that, in my understanding, I'm not investigating the drug aspect. That investigation is still ongoing from my understanding.
One second, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you all would go to the jury room for a break.